So number one, if you've got children up to the age of 3, guess what? The nursery downstairs is open, and we have people that are in the nursery to take care of your children, so you don't actually have to sit down there with them. You actually get a little bit of a break. Isn't that exciting? I know for me, I was always excited, but then the children weren't so much themselves, but that was okay. Also, this Tuesday night, 7 to 8 o'clock, we actually have prayer here in the sanctuary. And we also have prayer every Sunday morning here in the sanctuary from 9:30 till 10:50 or till 9:50. But I feel that's a good reminder just to kind of sow into one of the most important areas in our church, which is prayer. So if you're like, well, I don't think that's really for me. You know what? Actually, it's totally for you because we pray for you when we're in those services. So we would like for everybody to be participating. So try and make it out to at least one on a Sunday morning and at least once a month on a Tuesday night. And that's here in the sanctuary, Tuesday nights from 7 to 8. Super important to be invested there. And then also next Sunday, hold on. We are getting ready for our season of generosity. So we will be giving more information out next Sunday. But it's just a fantastic way that we actually get to give back into our community, into families, into just situations that we don't realize actually start to open up doors and gates from heaven to actually intercede into situations. And that's all just by giving. More about that in a few minutes. And then also don't forget, we got on December 2nd, which is a Friday night. You know, I always have date night on Friday night with my wife. So on December 2nd, which is Friday night, we're actually having a Christmas banquet here at the church. There's going to be tickets that are going to be for sale at the back. They're $35. And again, you know what? If you don't have a date, maybe invite one, right? You know, you can invite a neighbor, you can invite a friend, you can even bring a family member. But you know what? Again, that opens the door for something to happen. You know, just this past week, I had a neighbor that I invited out to something, and it actually shifted something in how his week went. Just by inviting him out to one thing. I just invited him to a small Connect group meeting, and he's just like, all of a sudden, something just started to come up, and it ignited something just by inviting a person to one thing. And then, of course, there's going to be wonderful prizes. You don't really want to miss that. And you know, I heard there's some good MCs at this. You know, they got some really good jokes. Actually, it's myself and my wife, and I've been working on my jokes all week, so be prepared, guys. And then next week, we have Pastor Bill, who will be concluding the sermon series in James. And his message will be the prayer of faith. And then we'll also be celebrating communion in that service. So, also, if you're visiting with us, we actually have a QR Connect code. With that Connect code, you can just click on that. You can see all sorts of information. You'll even see about Connect groups. Some of them are wrapping up soon. Some of them are just going to be continuing on through into the new year. But you know what? If you're wanting just to have a bit more information, this is one of the best resources right here. And then also for our giving, you might be online, or maybe you're just like, I don't want to go all the way to the back. You can actually pull out your phone, click on it. You can give right through this QR code. But if you are wanting to give, you can head to the back. A debit machine will be open. You can even throw your envelope in the little box at the back. You can do by credit card, check, cash, Visa, again, debit. I think I probably said that like 6 times. But as we're going into offering, this is just a bit of a thought I kind of want to leave with you. Just like the past few days, I've just been reflecting on Moses and his life. And with Moses, he did some pretty amazing things. And actually, when you read and you look, okay, what was it that he was doing? So you read and you're like, well, he had this staff, and he would touch water and it turned to blood, and he would put it into the ground and the sea spread wide open. He would touch a stone and water, fresh water where there was no water would actually start flowing out of a stone, just a stone. That staff up. And as long as he held it up, that battle seemed to be his. But as soon as he started to take his hand down, the Israelites would start to lose. And what I'm getting at, it actually wasn't the staff that had really anything to do with it. What it was obedience. Because God always said, I want you to take that stick and I want you to plant it in the ground. I want you to lift it up. I want you to hold it up. And as you hold it up, that battle that you guys are fighting is going to shift. And see, what I'm trying to get at is, with his obedience, right, there was that physical act. There was that physical act of obedience that brought through a spiritual release. So when we give today, there's that spiritual obedience that brings a spiritual outpouring. There's a release.